Why is this fight so significant? Because you got two guys who don't.
And it's a dangerous fight, but it's a great fight for the fans, and it shows you again Joseph will stay.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous because Zhilei Zhang was undefeated, in my opinion, until he faced Joseph Parker.
It's becoming a bit of a giant killer, Joseph Parker.
The Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley press conference was supposed to be a standard face-off. Fighters talk, promoters sell, and fans get their sound bites. But the moment Frank Warren took the mic, the air changed. What was once a calm exchange became electric. Warren didn't just speak, he interrupted, slicing through the noise with...
As he said, it could be a defining moment for him. He has the desire, he's a KO specialist, he can punch.
With sharp authority. His tone wasn't promotional, it was personal. This wasn't a press event anymore. It was a psychological battle, a prelude to war. Warren's words hit like jabs, precise and deliberate. He saw what many didn't. Fabio Wardley's desperation colliding with Joseph Parker's quiet confidence.
The horse's mouth. It's going to be a shootout. As soon as that bell goes in the first round, we can get down on it. They're going to be throwing bombs, and somebody will go. It's going to be a great...
One man trying to prove he belongs, the other already knowing he does. The energy shifted instantly. It felt like the first punch had already landed, even before the bell ever rings. Then, Warren's demeanor hardened. His tone turned from measured analysis to outright confrontation.
I know Wardley is determined, and he's ticked all those boxes and got the rounds in that he needs to have a big fight like this. But fighting a person like myself is very different to fighting everyone else that he's fought. I bring a lot of experience. I bring same as in belief, determination, and I will win.
He went straight for Wardley's facade, tearing into the young heavyweight with cutting precision. "You talk confidence, but I see nerves," he said, voice steady but loaded with venom. Fabio tried to keep his composure, but his replies carried tremors. His eyes told the story, unease masked by bravado. Meanwhile,
Try to implement ways of beating him, punches that will work, combinations that will work, movements that will work, and then you focus on improving your fighter as well, making him the best he can be. And as long as Joe is firing on all cylinders, I think he'll have enough to beat Wardley, even though...
Joseph Parker sat calm and unbothered. His silence wasn't submission, it was control. He didn't need to raise his voice to command the room. Every look, every slow nod, spoke volumes. This was the energy of a man who'd been there before.
I've been building and building and building all the way through my career to get myself to this point, and I'm right on the edge of it, don't get me wrong. Joseph Parker is one hell of a competitor in front of me, but I'm right on the edge of putting my hands on the world title. So, yeah.
World title nights, pressure, doubters. Parker's poise reminded everyone who the real professional was. When he finally spoke, his voice was smooth, confident, and unshakably composed. There was no boasting, no trash talk, just assurance.
Nobody wants this fight because they're going to be stuck with this guy thinking, now all of a sudden there's a proper banana skin thrown in this, and we can't control what.
Fabio hasn't faced anyone like me before, Parker said. The words hung in the air with the weight of truth. He wasn't trying to sell a fight. He was declaring a reality. Behind that confidence lies the foundation built under Andy Lee. The former world champion and now elite trainer has transformed Parker into a complete, efficient machine. Lee understands
that with Joseph Parker being the interim champion, and you go, when are they going to make the move with Moses? You know, they've stepped him up, and every time they've stepped him up, he's obliterated his opponents. Last time out against Dillian White, he looked sensational. You know, there's a lot of talk afterwards about Dillian White not being in the condition that he should have been in, etc., etc., etc. You got to remember that kid is 20 years of age, and you look at what he done there, the emotional pressure.
Parker's rhythm, timing, and instincts like no one else. He's refined his every movement for precision and purpose. Fabio might bring danger, Lee once said, but Joseph brings discipline, and that's what wins at the highest level. Wardley tried to sound composed, but the cracks showed. His words felt rehearsed, his laughter forced.
but he's also gone behind in certain areas of his technique, which was proven in his last fight against, was it Hooney?
Justice Hooney.
Justice Hooney, right?
Yeah.
Because he was exposed.
He was.
For his boxing skills.
It was the tone of a man who senses what's coming. He talks about being on the edge, and he's right. One wrong step against Joseph Parker and he'll fall right off. Confidence looks easy under the lights, but courage under fire is another story. Johnny Nelson broke it down perfectly. This isn't mind games, it's a warning. Nelson sees beyond the talk. To him, Fabio Wardley's swagger reads like insecurity. On paper, he looks like a rising star. Up close, he looks like a man staring down something he's not ready for. Against a technician like Parker.
Good fight, isn't it?
It is a good fight.
Parker Wardley, I'm actually looking forward to it. I think Parker does it with the experience and the skills and that.
I think he overcomes, but I think it's too big of a
Wardley punches hard enough to make it a fight and then drag him into something and make it like so.
That tough talk starts to crumble fast. Frank Warren, ever the veteran promoter, doubled down on the truth. Joseph Parker, he said, is on a blistering run. He's beating elite fighters and making it look effortless. And he's not wrong. Parker has quietly built one of the most impressive runs in recent heavyweight memory, dispatching top names, dominating in ways that remind the division why he was once world champion. Meanwhile, Fabio Wardley feels like he's still playing catch-up. His highlight reel knockouts excite fans, but they don't disguise the gap in
He's a fighter that truly believes in himself, unbelievably strong. His jab is so underrated, his right hand is underrated. You know, you saw how he
experience. He's running on hype, not pedigree. Parker's evolution under Andy Lee has turned him into a master craftsman. Fabio, by contrast, still looks like a man stepping into deep waters without realizing how cold it gets. Even Eddie Hearn, who's never shy to protect his own fighters, admitted what many think but few say aloud. Joseph Parker is dangerous again. That quiet, confident version of Parker, the one who believes, who's sharp, who's calm under pressure, is back. Hearn knows that's bad news for any heavyweight in front of him. The Parker of today isn't the man who struggled years ago. This version is cold.
I love Joseph, and I think that he's stronger, he's faster. And Parker right now is the top three. Usyk, Moses, and Parker. This is the names now. So Parker is a top guy. He deserves a title fight. He deserves the world title fight. So I'm with Parker team. He will
older, smarter, and built to punish arrogance. Fabio Wardley, with his big talk and bravado, is walking straight into a trap he can't see. He doesn't yet understand how deep those waters are. Parker's experience dwarfs Wardley's enthusiasm. Carl Froch and Tony Bellew echoed the sentiment. Froch said, "Wardley can punch, but Parker can think." And that's the entire difference. Wardley's danger ends with his power. Parker's threat begins with his composure. Under pressure, Fabio swings wild and prays. Parker reads, adjusts, and punishes. That's the gulf between a hopeful contender and a proven world-level operator. Johnny Nelson also reminded everyone of Parker's underrated physical strength. He bullied giants, Nelson said. Zhilei Zhang, Deontay Wilder, guys known for their power.
He's too good.
He's just unbelievable great. Yeah, you can forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, he's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad.
Parker's not just strong, he's brutally strong. His jab isn't just a setup, it's a weapon. It controls space, dictates rhythm, and smothers aggression. Fabio Wardley, who's never faced that kind of control or strength, will find himself shocked once Parker establishes command. This isn't a fight between equals, it's a test of survival for Fabio. Parker dominates not just with power, but with patience. He breaks fighters mentally long before the knockout comes. Even Parker's sparring partners have revealed the truth. Guido Vianello, who's felt the power firsthand, didn't hesitate. "Parker's on another level," he said. "Stronger, faster, smarter." When sparring partners, men who live and breathe those exchanges, side with your opponent, it speaks volumes. Parker isn't just expected to win, He's expected to dominate. And when Derek Chisora calls someone the White Muhammad Ali, you listen. Chisora is not a man of empty compliments.
I think Parker has got wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee, he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now, former world champion, of course. I think he's better than he once was, so that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in, and remember, Joe Joyce knocked Joe Parker out. Others have
shared the ring with the best. For him to describe Parker that way says everything about what Parker's become: fluid, balanced, and unpredictable. Chisora's seen the hardest hitters in the division, yet he speaks of Parker with awe. That alone tells the story. Parker's movement, adaptability, and ring IQ make him a nightmare opponent. He's evolved into a fighter who can think 3 steps ahead while staying calm under fire. In contrast, Fabio Wardley's flashy confidence looks shallow. Once the bell rings, talk fades, and the truth steps forward. Parker's a purebred boxer. Fabio's still learning how to breathe in deep waters. Adam Smith summarized it best. Joseph Parker isn't just back. He's evolved, he said. Fans aren't watching a comeback. They're witnessing a reinvention. Under Andy Lee, Parker has shed hesitation and rediscovered hunger. His footwork is slicker, his defense tighter, his composure sharper. He's become a refined predator, patient, calculating.
So I think he relies on his power far too much. He hasn't brought enough to his game right now, and I thought he would have kicked on from that. If he's going to have any chance against Joseph Parker, then he can't just rely on that big right hand. Joseph Parker's a seasoned, well-schooled athlete.
Who hits hard.
Yeah, who hits hard. He's on a resurgence in terms of his confidence and where he is in boxing now, Parker. So it's
and unforgiving. This isn't the same man Joe Joyce stopped. That Parker is gone. This one punishes every inch of carelessness. Wardley might believe his raw power can close the gap, but that's a dangerous delusion. Against Parker's rhythm and timing, power means nothing if you can't find the target. Smith was right again. Wardley brings danger, but it only works when the other man panics. And Parker doesn't panic anymore. He's too experienced, too mentally disciplined. Fabio runs on emotion. Parker runs on execution. When the first bell rings, that difference will be glaring. Wardley will swing at shadows while Parker dissects him with surgical calm. This fight isn't about who hits harder. It's about who knows how to win. And Parker has mastered that art. Even Roy Jones Jr., one of the most naturally gifted fighters ever, couldn't help but praise him. Joseph Parker is the best guy right now, Roy said. Coming from Jones, that's no small thing. His compliments aren't handed out. They're earned. He recognizes mastery when he sees it.
I think Parker has got wonderful skills, and under Andy Lee, he's really rejuvenated, and I think he's one of the best heavyweights in the world, period now, former world champion, of course. I think he's better than he once was, so that's a problem for Wardley, but Wardley brings that power in, and remember, Joe Joyce knocked Joe Parker out. Others have had
rhythm, distance, composure. Under Andy Lee, Parker has rediscovered his boxing identity. He's no longer chasing knockouts. He's manufacturing dominance. His combinations flow like water. His defense is pure reflex. His calmness inside chaos is elite. Fabio Wardley, on the other hand, still looks like a man trying to convince himself he belongs here. Parker doesn't have to prove anything. His resume speaks louder than words. Roy's assessment stung because it laid bare the truth. Versatility. Parker adjusts mid-fight, mid-round, even mid-combination. Fabio can't even adjust between rounds. That difference defines the levels between them. Roy sees what's coming, a clinic in composure, timing, and execution. Fabio's power will fizzle once Parker starts walking him down. The veteran's precision will smother Fabio's wild swings, and by the end, it won't even look competitive. This fight isn't just about rankings or belts anymore. It's about pride, legacy, and truth. Joseph Parker enters as a man reborn, laser-focused and technically supreme under Andy Lee's guidance. Fabio Wardley steps in with confidence and power, but without a proven plan. It's experience versus excitement. Class versus chaos. Parker has walked through fire and come out refined. Fabio's about to learn what true pressure feels like. All the build-up, all the talk, all the bravado, it will all vanish when the bell rings. And when it does, only one man will stand with control. So the question remains, when the gloves touch, who are you backing? Will Joseph Parker cement his comeback with another masterclass? Or will Fabio Wardley's hype finally collapse under the weight of reality? One thing's certain, the truth will be revealed under those lights.